What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Brendan and I'm BMax45. Today we're coming at you with another video. We have our market analysis for the Digimon TCG. Like we do every Friday, we're here to bring you Digimon card prices, look at the market, look at the meta, what's going on with tournaments and how that's affecting card prices, as well as looking at set data and a bit generalized hype for new and upcoming sets. And we're here today and we're going to be bringing you some store tournament data from the new store tournament packs, as well as some tournament data. We had another regionals in the UK, so some cards have seen some changes on that, and we're going to be finishing up on our run of AD01 and looking into how everything's settling. We had our actual official release last week, and now we're looking at like week one prices, where everything's lying, where everything's settling down, and if the set is worth buying singles now or if it's still worth buying boxes. But hey, if you enjoy this type of content, be sure to smash this like button. Comment down below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Subscribe to the channel and hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss a single minute of the fun. All right, well, let's get right into it without further ado. And we're looking at the new store tournament pack, Volume 2 for 2026. You can see right here, you got some of the new cards like Glowing Dawn, $5 to $7 for the regular. But if you go look over here at the winner pack, it's around $17 to $20. You got Machina's emblem up at 30 listings for 30, but market price is closer to 13. Same thing with Ari Karin, $3 for winner pack, but $10 market price. And then like the regular version of Machina's emblem is a lot cheaper. It's like $8, but 13 for listings. This is just because there's not a lot on the market yet, so these prices will go down. So if you have these cards and you want to sell them, this is the time to sell them because eventually they're going to be worth nothing, both the winner and the regular. Well, we got the Destruction Cannon. The winners, it's like $4 or $5, and like 2 to 3 for the regular. Same with Data Squad. The DATS card, Digital Accident Tactic Squad, is $3 only for the regular, and that's not even all the ones here, so we don't have to go to another page to see if we can find the other ones. I will say though that it has the Evo Cup stuff here, and Ragnarok Cannon has crashed. Look at that, $10, $10 to $12. Zenith's still doing pretty good, 50 to 58. He's not coming down as much as I thought he would. I thought he'd be closer to 35, honestly, with how many copies you see of him get played. And we have some of our other cards. The regular Ari Karin is only like $1 to $2. Same with Eugen Orza. He's not worth much at all. And participation Destromon's down to like $1. That's kind of hilarious. That is pretty low. I'm just trying to see here. I wish they would, if you put volume 2 in and you get everything, which is kind of annoying because then you're like searching for these other promo cards. TCG used to be so much better. Like it used to like actually like if I put volume 2, it wouldn't bring me anything that's volume 1. So the site settings have definitely gone downhill. It's something that's been bothering me for a long time. They used to have a better algorithm, but their algorithm is kind of messed now. See, like it's not even bringing up some of the other cards here, like the new winner DATS. Okay, well there's the winner one, which is only like $4. Same with Eugen Orza. The winner versions are only like $4. So really not that much difference to their regular counterparts. The only thing that's really worth money right now is Glowing Dawn and the unique emblem Machina's Ascension. Everything else is pretty cheap from this set already, and we're barely like a couple weeks in really, because they would have just started last week at the beginning of April. So these prices for these store tournament kits are already down to nothing. And I believe that's all the cards here, because you got the 2 of these. Yeah, that's all 6 right there. Yeah, so they're fairly cheap already, but they're going to go down in price even more. Looking at LM07 again, another night, seeing where those prices are going. These kind of are holding, the App Link and the Omnimon. Omnimon's come down a couple dollars, but the App Link's kind of holding at that $10 to $12 range. Dino B's come down a little bit, like $4 or $5, and Omnimon Ultra B is holding as well. Looks like a bunch of the training cards are also holding. The memory boost ones have come down a little bit. They're less popular, but the dual trainings are definitely holding in price. And then most of the promo cards have come down to like $1 or less. So you're seeing that reflected in all the pricing right there. Talking about tournament stuff, one thing we did want to look at is decks that have been topping. We had a Vortex Dramon in the Bristol's top 16, playing 4 Shoto Kazuma, so it's interesting to see where this card would end up. Hasn't really seen any bump here. It's a fairly cheap card for the alternate, just $12. So if you had to pick up a place of these, not super bad for yourself. Most recent sale, $11.39. And it's been trending down, and there's lots of copies there, so I mean it's not gonna go up anytime soon. Which is funny because you only played 2 copies of the old Shoto from EX7, and looking at him, like, he's still a crazy, insane price card, like way up there. 38. Most recent sale. So it's kind of funny that the one you need the more copies of is really not moving in price. So that's kind of nice. Do with that what you will. We also have Emperor Greymon. We had a red hybrid deck using the promo Emperor Greymon. That thing spiked up in price. Market price is only $3, but most recent sale is $22. With the cheapest one for sales is $20, and that's lightly played. So 21, 22 for cheapest near mint. Lots of copies though, but still definitely has spiked up in price. So yeah. We also have Imperial. We had an Imperial thing. I was looking at Dragon modes, and some people are playing this Dragon mode as well. The player who topped was not. He was playing the BT16 Dragon mode. But this was a nice card if you can still get a hold of it. The Digimon Illustration Competition Pack. $15 most recent sale. $9 market value. But these ones are hard to find nowadays. So they usually do end up going for quite a bit more. But if we go back here, we can see like Imperial Dragon mode. This is the LM version of the BT16 one. It's about $3 to $4, not very expensive. They're not showing the data on it right now. See, they're not showing they're still gathering the pricing data here, but there's lots of copies, so it's fairly cheap to get this for the deck. Just because your choice of dragon modes right now is super important for the deck. There's that as well. And then we also have Kaguyamon. Kaguyamon is the kind of the less of the important one in the deck now, in the new Puppets deck, but it's still seeing some fluctuation here. It's gone up quite a bit, dipped back down, looking at like $13, $14. Again, lots of copies on the market, but it has been going up. So I mean, like just a little while ago, it was closer to $10. Back in the beginning of the year, but it's slowly been going up as the EX11 support came in, and as the deck's been doing better in tournaments. The other card that the deck is utilizing a lot right now is Centralmon, the new EX11 Centralmon, and that card has actually come down quite a bit from when it originally was released. It had a little bit of a bump here and just kind of like leveled out at about like $17, $18. I don't see it spiking anytime soon, but I think it'll stay at this price, and you do necessarily need 4 copies of these to play the deck, at least 3 or 4. So it's not a bad price, definitely, but probably it's a good time to sell these right now if you want to make a little bit of money, because I think these probably will go down a little bit. Puppets just usually has the unfortunate side effect of just kind of fizzling out of the meta, but we'll see what happens in the future anyways. And we're back to looking at our AD01 stuff. So how's the set doing? What's going on with prices? Have things cooled down? I think they've cooled down a bit. You look at the price of a box, it's $75 per box. $9, $34 for a case. Doesn't seem terribly bad. Obviously I'm in Canada, so I can't get those prices, so that's unfortunate. You have your low pull rate or your 2-star secrets, which are both kind of going for around $600 to $750, which is still pretty good. You got your other low pull rates here. You got at least Galantmon and Shine Gray. They're going around for about $250 to like $400. So that's not terrible either. So you're seeing these prices are not awful. Your best card in the set is Imperial Digimon Fighter Mode. The alternate art is for $72 to $75. That's a pretty good secret price. We haven't seen those secret prices in a while that stay that way, so that's actually pretty huge. And it's it's going to be that way for a while. I don't think it's going to go down too much, especially if it continues to see tops with people running 3 to 4 of this. So unfortunately, I don't think that pricing is coming anywhere anytime soon. But we'll see what happens. I was hoping this would go down a bit more, but just the way the pull rates are in this set, I can see it staying because everything's super high. You got Omnimon here for $65. We actually pulled 2 of those and 1 of this, so we actually got decently lucky with our secret alt pulls. We didn't pull a single Shine Greymon alt, which was up there at $75, so it's come down, thank goodness. But still, $50 to $57 for the alt is pretty expensive for just a regular alternate. Same with like the Marcus Damon Agumon, that's up at $55. And this will probably stay up there because of hype for the next set and the starter decks with more support for these decks. You got Galantmon sitting at $45 to $48. Then finally start to come down in price. You got XV and Stingmon are around like that 30. This one's around to 45. The Stingmon's 28 to 37. So the big gaps in the listing and the market price. So the listings are going down, but the market price is not going down as fast as the listings are going down. So that's unfortunate, because a lot of people are selling at the market price because they know they can make that money, because this stuff is hard to find, because the pull rates are so awful. Aldemon, look at like a alternate, level 5 alternate sitting at $39 to $42. That's insane. You got Blitz Gray, and some of these cards are not going to see play, and they're just, Blitz Gray should probably be like around a $15 card. Same with Crest Garurumon, and it's up there at almost $30 to $40. You got Shoutmon X7, again, a card that I don't see, like this deck, I don't know if it does enough. I feel like it, 25 is a decent place to be, but like with the market price sitting up there at 39, people are just setting their prices. Then you have the regular secrets, which are a little bit more in line, $35 to $40, but I mean 35. Like I'd rather see them around 25 to 30. So they're still not even going down as fast as I would have predicted. Melga 35. Again, these cards, I don't know if the support is enough for the certain decks. Like this is obviously for adventure. I just don't see if this is moving the needle on the deck, but the cards are just staying up in price. The Tamers, this card's going to stay up in price now because Hybrid just topped using this new card, so I think this card's going to stay up. If we're lucky, we'll see the market price coming in more in line with the listings, and we'll see it closer to $30 for the market. Maybe 28, but we'll have to hope for that. See, this one's kind of nice. This one's 31 for Dynas. Market price is a little bit more in line with what the listings are showing. And you got TK, and again, some of these Tamers, I'm just like, I just don't know, like, will these Tamers ever see play? And so like when you're asking yourself that, and you're asking yourself, do you want to pay $26 to $33 for this alt tamer? It's just, yeah. Lord Knight is actually quite cheap. Looking at 25 with 32, that seems a lot cheaper than it was before. So things have come down here. Serious Mon obviously 24 to 30. Again, big gap there, but it is coming down in price. These are the cards that are a little insane here. You're seeing Marcus Damon at $25 to $27 for this super. And honestly, when I only pulled 2 from 12 boxes, makes sense, honestly. Same with Shine Greymon being at like $17 to $18. It's finally coming down. It was about $25 to $30 for a super because of how hard it was to pull. Aldemon there is again pretty intense at $18 to $23. This I believe should probably be way under, but it's still like those are supers, and some of these supers are higher price than these alternates. You see you got Crescarumon, it's pretty cheap, 16, 20 for Beowulf. Their market prices are not too out of line of what they are. This one's a little bit high, I think, for the $16. Wargray, listings are higher, but the market price is actually lower for him. So maybe eventually the Melgo will come down to kind of that price, but right now the listings are kind of dumb. Gaimon Ace has dropped quite a bit, 13 to 20. So I think this stuff will drop eventually, like Gallantmon's, a lot cheaper, 12 to 15 for the super. And, the Koji alternate is just not as good. It's not seeing as good of pricing. Susanomon, 670 to 1540. These are the alts here. You're seeing that the alts are not AD01, but they're like alts of older cards. And those ones are actually seeing less prices here. And then you got your gold border cards starting with like Ruin Mode, Koromon, the Omni X, they're all up there. So the gold border cards are still quite expensive. Miraculous Mega Knights up there at like 18 to $22. So this is where you can make some money on these foil cards, and then even the reprints, you can make some money on that too. Then you have Melga is another expensive super. 13 bucks is pretty good for a super. Izzy and Tai is a pretty cheap tamer as well. And then you got some of your like lower end alts like Gallant Mode, Crimson Mode Ace, or Gallantmon Crimson Mode Ace for like 10-12 bucks. Not terrible. And there's still some more alts in here that we're not like, the purse mode is down to like $7 to $11, and I would not pay more than $7 for this card. War Greymon supers are still above $10. Rise Gray is the same. It's just the alt is just above $10. The Beetle Gamma is pretty cheap, $7. Again, I wouldn't pay more than $7 for this. It's not worth the price. And then you get like Blitz Gray, Shoutmon. They're still around $10. So they're doing all right. Serious Mon is a lower super at $8. So we're seeing the prices come down. Beowulf, Prescarumon, they're $6 or $7. They're still more than I would have expected. Like none of these supers are around like a couple dollars. It's because you just don't get a lot. But you're starting to see these prices, finally come down. Cano Weiss, alternate is like $6 to $8. This is like $4 or $5. This will be nothing because it's just like this card's been reprinted as an alt so many times it's not even funny. And you see all these like gold border cards, they start to come down in price. And that's so I mean, like, definitely sell your stuff, make your money while you can. But the set is starting to drop down. This was $6 a while ago, and now it's like $2 to $3. Still good rare. I mean, like, you can sell it for like $3. It's a rare. Why not? Make your money on some of these rares. But definitely the prices have started to come down in the set, and you can probably make some money on these rares because they're actually kind of hard to get. But like the fact is that they're starting to come down. I mean, still 70 cents for a rare. You can make $1 on a lot of these rares because they're just hard to pull. You don't even get play sets from a box. In fact, I think after 3 boxes, it took 6 boxes to get play sets of most of the rares. So you definitely can make some money on that stuff right now as it is, and we'll see as well about some of the other stuff here, because we are still missing 2 of the low pull rates. I was hoping for some reason sometimes they just get hidden in the back. Sometimes if you look for them, you can find them there. I mean, everything in this set is foil, so it's all going to be pretty cheap. But the gold border cards are where you get some of your money. So yeah, Serious Mon EP, $200. There is another EP, but it's weird I can't find it. But that is week 1 of AD01. Honestly, I pulled 12 boxes of this, and I felt sick to my stomach. But unfortunately, right now, honestly, if you can buy boxes for that price and pull a $72 Imperial Digimon, or even like one of these alts from your box, you're most likely making your money back. Between the gold foil cards, between the supers, and between your alternate pulls, you're probably making your money back. So honestly, buying boxes is still more worth it than buying singles. That's just how I feel right now, but it's a sickening feeling when you open these boxes, because there's so many really highly priced cards, and there's a few really bad pulls. And so when you open a box and you hit a couple of those really bad pulls, you're going to feel really bad. If you were guaranteed a secret and 2 alts in every box, it'd be different, because at least you'd be getting like half your box cost back with one of these 2 guys. But I don't think you're guaranteed. I think it's just 2 alt pulls, which could either be a secret or an alternate art. You're guaranteed 3 supers. So again, if you hit some of the good supers, you're making mostly like $10, sometimes even more on the supers. It's still really hit or miss, but it honestly feels a little bit better than buying singles, because you buy one single and you've already paid for like half the box or more. So I don't know how I feel about this right now. I bought 12 boxes and I didn't enjoy my box opening experience. I got a lot of good cards, but it just definitely didn't feel as good as opening a BT set or even an EX set. But let me know your guys' thoughts about all this. Tell me what you guys think about AD01. We're not going to be looking into the set as a whole anymore. We'll be looking at individual cards as prices change going forward back to the regular format. So I hope you guys enjoy this as always. And looks like that's all the time we have for this video. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope to see you in the next video. And as always, have a wonderful day. And that's all for now, folks.